This is the remix. Yes, so crazy. Hit me.
Bass.
Take off the slow, spin it back to the bubble to make it go.
Before we begin, if you want to see music bios or more good videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, on to our feature presentation. Beyonce Giselle Knowles was born on September 4th, 1981 in Houston, Texas. Her father, Matthew Knowles, was a sales manager, and her mother, Tina Knowles, a hairdresser and a salon owner. As a child, she was raised a Catholic and attended St. Mary's Montessori School, where she took up dancing. During these dance classes, her dance instructor discovered her humming, which turned into singing, which turned into hitting high notes. So at the age of 7, she performed at a local talent show, singing the John Lennon classic Imagine. There, she won in beating out older teenagers. While her childhood was described as great, she was bullied for being light-skinned and having long hair, and the envy for winning every single talent show. At the age of 8, she met Latavia Roberson and Kelly Rowland at an audition for a new group. The group would be called Girls Time. Girls Time had 6 members consisting of both singers and rappers, with Beyonce at the front. Over time, the girls perfected their craft and became local hits. They even landed a national gig on Star Search, but it didn't go well. Various sources stated that the song was used was a poor song choice, as it consisted more rapping, which was rare on Star Search, than their actual singing abilities. Because of this setback, Matthew Knowles, her father, took matters into his own hands and decided to manage the group, with Tina being their image consultant. His first step was to slice the members to 3, keeping Beyonce, Kelly, and Latavia. Second, replace those 3 departed members with Letoya Luckett. Next, he has the girls enroll in his boot camp. Matthew Knowles' boot camp consisted of the girls staying at his house over the summer and develop them into professionals. They will rehearse their vocals, dance moves, and he'll have them run in the morning to gain endurance. The hard work paid off when Matthew Knowles sent a demo tape to Columbia, and they invited the girls to audition. Things didn't go well at first. The day before the audition, the girls went swimming, against Matthew's will, because he wanted the girls to really focus on the audition. And while Columbia was interested, they wasn't ready to sign them full term for various reasons. They ended up signing a production deal with Silent Partner, but needed a name. Over time, the Girls Time name played out, and they underwent various name changes like Something Fresh, Cliche, and The Dolls. With Tina's help, they settled with Destiny thanks to the Book of Isaiah. The girls developed even further with Silent Partner until the phone rang again, this time for Elektra Records. Elektra signed Destiny to their roster. However, the good times didn't last. The production company that Destiny was signed under wasn't compatible with Elektra, so they dropped the production company and anything attached to it, which included Destiny. Matthew then had to make another sacrifice. He decided to pursue Destiny full time and quit his regular job. This move would end up slicing the Knowles family income in half and eventually cost them their house. This move also put an emotional toll on Tina. Because Matthew quit his job, she became the breadwinner, and it took a toll on the family. She and Matthew separated but quickly reconciled. Now at full attention, Matthew continued to push for any label to sign Destiny. So he called Columbia, the first label they auditioned with that wouldn't sign them the first time. Columbia, still never losing interest, brought them to New York and auditioned. Columbia signed them, but one more thing needed to be changed, albeit a tweak. Their name Destiny wasn't eligible for trademarking, so Matthew added the child, and the name Destiny's Child stuck. In 1997, Destiny's Child released their debut single, No No No. The first version did well, however it needed a bop, Enter Wyclef to save the day. Part 2 was then released and that version peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. In January that next year, the album was released. As successful as No 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 did, it didn't translate to the album. The album peaked at number 67 on the Billboard 200. Another single, With Me, didn't fare much success either. Part of the issue was that the girls felt like the album was too neo-soul for their young image. But despite this, the album still managed to go platinum. Eager for new material, the girls re-entered the studio to work on their second album. This time they teamed up with Rodney Darkchild Jenkins, Kevin Shakespeare Briggs, Chris Stokes, Missy Elliott, and Escape member Candy Burris to work on their next project. The Writings on the Wall was released in the summer of 1999. The lead single Bills 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 went straight to number 1, giving the girls their first number 1 hit. The video was an homage to Tina Knowles' work for the salon and it received heavy airplay on MTV and BET. They released another single, Bugaboo, and even though it wasn't as successful as Bills Bills Bills, this song is considered a fan favorite. The Writings on the Wall would end up going 8 times platinum, becoming one of the highest selling albums from Destiny's Child. Meanwhile, Latavia and Letoya was beginning to have issues with Matthew. The pair felt like he was preparing a solo career for his daughter behind their backs and even accused him of quote-unquote digging in the pot too much. It was also told that he made Latavia, Letoya, and Kelly tan while Beyonce only tanned for recreation. It was also stated that he barred Latavia and Letoya's parents from learning about the group's finances, and one time while on tour, they had to share a bus with R&B group Jagged Edge. One of the members beginning to date Latavia, and Matthew didn't like that because his girls were minors and Jagged Edge were in their early 20s. But the biggest issue came on a stop in New Orleans. Letoya wasn't feeling well and wanted her mother on the bus to take care of her. Matthew told Letoya's mother no because she wasn't under contract to ride with Destiny's Child. Jagged Edge stood up to Matthew and defended Letoya to no success. He had Letoya's mom and Jagged Edge kicked off the bus. After the tour, Letoya and Latavia announced they wanted to break from Matthew Knowles' management. Reason being, he favored his daughter Beyonce and Kelly too much, and the communication between the parties were deteriorating. But despite this, Letoya and Latavia never announced any plans on leaving Destiny's Child. Matthews looked at it as such and began to look for replacements. Before the release of their next single, Say My Name, the girls, Beyonce and Kelly, began to shoot the video. Matthew brought in 2 new replacements without informing the departures of Letoya and Latavia. The first was named Farrah Franklin, who was an extra in the Bills 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 video, and the other named Michelle Williams, who sang background for Monica. When the video was released, Letoya and Latavia were surprised that Destiny's Child did a video behind their backs. Despite this, the song will also go number 1 and give Destiny's Child their first Grammy Award for Best R&B Performance by a duo or group with vocals. Shortly after the video release, Letoya and Latavia filed a lawsuit against Matthew, Kelly, and Beyonce for breach of partnership and fiduciary duties, and thus the media firestorm began. The media targeted Beyonce for being self-centered and having a diva personality. The amount of hate she got was so overwhelming, and those things began to dwell on her new group mates, especially Farrah. The hectic schedule overwhelmed her to the point where she kept getting sick, and Farrah had to miss 3 important dates with Destiny's Child for various reasons outside of her sickness.
You might have to go straight to the airport.
Okay.
I don't have no luggage.
I'm rolling.
But it's better for you to go home than not have luggage.
No, it's not.
It's not?
Because where y'all coming out there?
Well, somebody can send your luggage.
But then I'm going to have to wait for 4 days before I get all my stuff.
Well, it's either that or you're going to probably miss your flight.
According to Franklin, management had a meeting about her absences and verbally abusing her to the point where she stormed out and left Destiny's Child, adding on to the media firestorm. Meanwhile, Latavia and Letoya dropped their suit against Beyonce and Kelly as long as both parties don't diss each other through the media. They also settled in royalty statements from the first 2 albums. After the departure of Farrah, Destiny's Child continued as a trio. They got a huge opportunity to record a song for the Charlie's Angels soundtrack. The song was called Independent Woman Part 1. The song will earn Destiny's Child their third #1 single, staying there for 11 consecutive weeks. With the media continuing to berate Destiny's Child, the girls got focused and began to record their third album, and they will call the album Survivor, and the title track took aim at those who berate them, criticized, and attacked them. Some of the lyrics allegedly took aim at their former group mates. Beyonce's lyrics stated, "You thought I wouldn't sell without you, sold 9 million." And Kelly's lyrics, "You know I'm not gonna dish you on the internet cause my mama taught me better than that." Letoya and Latavia both filed lawsuits for violating the settlement, involving not to diss each other, but again settled out of court. Survivor peaked at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100. The album of the same name was released in April 2001. Thanks to the negative press, the album sold about 663,000 first week, which is most a girl group has ever done. The next month, they released their follow-up to Survivor named Bootylicious. It was said that they got the name from Dr. Dre's diss track, Dre Day.
And them rhymes you were kicking were quite bootylicious.
The song ended up being their fourth and final #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100, and this is also the most recent #1 song by a female vocal group. The term bootylicious was so popular, it landed on the Oxford Dictionary given the definition, "woman is sexually attractive." The next song released was Emotion, and the song is a cover of the Samantha Sang and Bee Gees. The song gained heavy radio airplay after the plane crashes of Aaliyah and everyone who lost their lives on the September 11th attacks. After the Survivor era ended, the girls announced that each member will embark on solo endeavors. While recording Survivor, Beyonce landed her first movie role in Carmen, a hip hopera. Directed by Robert Townsend, the film served as a pseudo-remake of the African-American opera Carmen Jones. She then landed another film role in Austin Powers in Goldmember alongside Mike Myers. It was here where her first solo song was released called Work It Out. However, the song failed to chart in the United States as it only gained international success. In 2002, she collabed with Jay-Z on '03 Bonnie and Clyde, the first of what will be many duets between the two. Bonnie and Clyde peaked at #4 on the Billboard Hot 100. Her original plan was to release Dangerously in Love in October 2002. However, it was pushed back due to tweaks and the pressure of being highly anticipated. Meanwhile, Michelle and Kelly already released their solo projects, with the latter having super success when she teamed up with Nelly, gained a #1, and won a Grammy. Now, what she did next would be a very smart move on Beyonce and Matthew's part. She decided to hold a pay-per-view concert previewing her Dangerously in Love album. The goal was to preview her songs and see which song the fans responded to the best. And the fans responded to Crazy in Love the best, so she released it as its lead single. The lead single featured Jay-Z and it went straight to #1. In 2010, VH1 ranked this song the top song of the 2000s decade. She then released her long-anticipated album Dangerously in Love in June 2003. Her next single was Baby Boy featuring Sean Paul, and like Crazy in Love, it also went to #1. Other songs off that album included the ballad Me, Myself, and I, and Naughty Girl. The album was super successful as it went quadruple platinum. The album earned her 5 Grammys that included Best Contemporary R&B Album, Best R&B Vocal Performance, Best R&B Duo Group Performance, and that was with The Closer I Get to You of Luther Vandross, Best Rap Song Collaboration for Crazy in Love, and with this she tied Lauryn Hill with the most wins in a single night by a female. That same year she got an opportunity of a lifetime singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl, which was held in her hometown in Houston, and it was this Super Bowl that inspired a social media platform. She also starred in the movie The Fighting Temptations alongside Oscar Award-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. The film also introduced us to a young lady who will later be known as Beyonce's protege and Chloe Bailey. After the Dangerously in Love era ended, she, Kelly, and Michelle reunited to do another album, as this was a promise fulfilled by the fans. But this almost not happened because she planned on releasing another record, but shelved it to focus on Destiny's Child. Because of this, the album was called Destiny Fulfilled, a proper name for a final album. Singles included Lose My Breath, which peaked at number 3, Soldier with T.I. and Lil Wayne, and fan favorites Girl and Cater to You, as the album went triple platinum. During a stop in Barcelona, Kelly informed the fans that this would be their last tour. The final stop was in Vancouver, and after that show, Destiny's Child formally disbanded. They also received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at year's end, and after the disbandment, the girls released number 1's The Greatest Hits album. In the album, a new song appeared called Check Up On It, which featured Houston legends Slim Thug and Bun B. The song was supposed to be included in the Pink Panther soundtrack, but for some reason, it was excluded. Instead, she heavily promoted the song with the movie, as she also appears in. Check Up On It gave Beyonce her 3rd number 1 single.
Ooh, boy, you looking like you like what you see. Won't you come over and check up on it? I'ma let you.
Stay tuned for part 2, where we talk about women empowerment, a last-minute album release changed the game for music, and her Renaissance era.